Okay, so let's go ahead. We'll access those specific events. First thing we'll do is we'll go to the users, created user. This is going to take the user in here. That's what's going to get passed through automatically. We don't need to do anything here at this point, except we need to make this a public property so it's accessible by the listeners. So we'll say this dash user equals user. And we're going to add some additional information in here as well, like who did it, right? So if this one is a created user, I'm going to say, created by, and this is going to be basically the current authenticated user so that we can track down who would have created them. If it doesn't pass through the authenticated user, if there is none, then using the null coalescing function, we will just pass through null in here, and we'll check for it when we actually go to create our logs. So created by, and then we'll do another one here, created at. We could access created at directly from the user model itself, but I'm going to set this up so it's formatted really nicely for us to use by each of the listeners, and then I don't have to use the same function again. So we'll say we'll provide the month fully written out, day, year, at, and then we'll specify hours, minutes, and seconds. And I'm satisfied with that. Let's make these public properties now. So we'll say public user, public created by, and then public created at. Okay, perfect. Okay, now let's go over to our deleted listener here, and we'll again pass through the user, and we'll pass those through to the we'll assign those to the public properties. We'll say deleted by auth. We need to bring that class in. It's one of the most frequent mistakes I make as I'm working and I'm wondering where's that error coming from. It's because I didn't actually bring in the namespace up there. This dash deleted at equals date f day year at hour, that's 24 hours, seconds. Great, now we have access to all this data in our listener through the event object that's passed to us. Let's just quickly put this in here though. Public user, public deleted by, public deleted at, in there. Okay, perfect. Let's go over to the deleted one first of all. So we'll log a deleting user now, and we'll create that log in our user log model. So Control-Alt-I, Command-Alt-I, whatever you're using there with that namespace resolver, that pulls that in up there. And now we'll go ahead and we'll create this. So first things first, we're going to need the user ID. And that's going to come through with our event object. Oh, sorry, I'm doing this in the wrong place. This shouldn't be in the constructor. This should be in the handler. Okay, perfect. So this is going to come through in this event object right here. Okay, so we'll say event and then user, the public method on that, and then we'll say ID in there. And here we're going to create the slug, and the slug is going to be deleted user, then the message is going to be deleted user, and then we can put in the event dash user dash name, by we're going to put this in brackets just in case it didn't actually pass through the deleted by, because there wasn't an authenticated user that was doing this. So if it doesn't pass the name through, then we want to just say not found. And we'll append another string onto this one, and it's going to be at or on, in this case, because I'm using the @ symbol already, we'll say event deleted @. Okay. Now the other thing I want to add in here is some metadata. So this is basically going to be a snapshot of the user profile before they were deleted. You might add additional things in here, like if you have tables that are relationship tables to this one. So, maybe it's a list of messages, it's a list of whatever data. You might want to take a snapshot of that as well and then put that serialized to JSON. Which reminds me, we're going to have to go to the user log model and make sure that everything's serializes from and to an array. Okay, so we'll pass an array in here. It's just going to be user, and then under user, we'll just put in event user. And we could even add something else in here as well, like deleted by, and then we could put, event deleted by. That would be an option as well. And even if you wanted to, you could also say, deleted @. So if we ever pull this information out from the logs as reviewing them all, we have that option now. It's not an issue. User deleted by deleted @. So event dash deleted @. Great. And then we'll just return true in here. Perfect. User log was already imported. That's awesome. The other thing we need to do is we need to go over to our user log model. So again, app, models, user log, and we'll say protected casts. And then we're going to say metadata always casts as an array. And you would have seen this done in the users model earlier on. Okay, put an underline there. And now things should be good to go. Basically, any single time this is deleted, it's going to create a log for us in here. So let's go ahead. We'll go back to our page here. You don't really need to refresh because all the work was done on the backside. But we'll go like this. We'll see if we come up with any errors. Great, successfully deleted users. Now let's go down to our user log in Tinker, and we'll see what was passed through. We should only have one record in there. Okay. We actually have to exit because it has to find it again, because it loads all of that information as to where to find it beforehand. So you'll have to restart Tinker. And there we have it. Great. User came through. All that information came through, obviously except for the passwords. Same with the deleted by in there, and then the deleted @. So we have all the details that we need in here. In the user log. That's great. Let's quickly do this now with the logging of a created user. So we've added created in there. So we need to log created user and quickly create a user log in there for that. So we'll say create user ID. So again, we access the event object in there that's already been created for us. Brought through in the handler, and we'll say event dash user dash ID. We need to send through the slug as well, and the slug is going to be created user. Slug and then message. Okay, so we might say in here, created user event user name. By, we'll specify our authenticated user at the time of deleting this. Okay, brought in. Oh no, sorry, we don't need auth, my bad. We need event created by. And then we need to specify the name, or if there's no one in there, we need to say, okay, well, it wasn't found. So now we can go from there, event created by name, and then we'll just say on, and we'll specify when that was, which was already created for us with that pretty date that we put in there. So we'll say created at. Now what we can do here is we can add some metadata, and we'll take a snapshot of everything from basically when it was created. So In here, we're going to have the user. We're going to have the created by, which will be event created by. And we're also going to have, what else are we going to have in here? Created at. Created at. Okay. I don't want this to get too long. Hold on here. So user log. I don't want this to get too particularly long, this video, but let's go ahead and let's create another user in there because that will only take a moment, and then verify that the log is actually in the database. All right, so I'm going to refresh this. Not that we need to, but let's do this. We'll say Tyson London 1 role. And let's go ahead and create that user. Okay, so now let's go back and let's make sure that we actually deleted that. So we'll go, instead of first, we're going to say latest. Perfect. So created a user, Tyson London 1 by Tyson London, August 14th, 2020 at 2:45:40. Okay, perfect. So that all works for us in there. So from there, what we can do is we can create a couple of other items in our next video, like we can add the ability to edit, and we can add the ability to show the logs, for example, or change passwords, things like that, as you saw in the opening video.